and welcome to yet another episode of Foundation Courses. This particular session is for second year, third semester, and I'm continuing with Information and Communication Technologies. We started with Word, that is what we're going to do today. So in this segment of Information and Communication Technology, you're going to learn MS Office tools, which is essential for any job that you take up. Not only that, even in terms of your academic career, when you're writing a project, when you're submitting a project, these aspects of competencies and skills in MS Office is going to be extremely helpful. So we started with the introduction of MS Word. That is what I'm going to cover in detail. What I did in the last episode, I gave simple examples for all these points in the course index, which was listed from 1 to 9. I gave you simple examples, demonstration of all these functions that you're going to learn in detail. All right. So this is the learning path that we are going to follow. We're going to begin with get started, how the features of Word. Then we'll look at how to create a document. We can also create templates. We can follow certain templates. Then we'll look at add and edit text, where we'll understand the editing functions. Then we'll move on to formatting and styles, where you can change the format of the text. You can change the font size, font style, font type, color, size, everything that you wish to do. We'll learn about save and save as function. You can also save a Word document for with a non-editable mode, which is PDF. Then we'll move to organizing the document in terms of page breaks, headers and footers and page number. It will also include the page background. The design document, here we'll understand page color and border. Then word count and character count, why is it necessary, when to use it. We'll move on to review and track changes. This is necessary when you work on a document and send it to someone else to review, and when the person sends it back, you need to know what are the corrections made. So there is a tool within Word which allows you to track all the changes. We'll understand table properties and ending with mail merge. All right. So let's begin about MS Word. So it was first released in 1983 as multi-tool Word, is a word processor available as a standalone product and as a component in the Microsoft Office suite. The first version of MS Word was based on the framework of Bravo, the world's first word processor with graphical user interface. Microsoft Word was the first word processor to introduce the concept of what you see is what you get. That means whatever you are typing in a document, the way you design something in the document, if you add a picture, the way you design it, that is how the receiver is going to see it. There are a lot of applications, the way you design the editable mode, whatever you are writing, the receiver sees it differently. Say for example, all the mobile app, the way it's written is not the way it's used. The front end is different, the back end is different. But when it comes to Word, when you're writing a particular document, the way you are writing, what you see is what you get. So whatever you are writing in the same format, the receiver receives the information or he sees the information. All right. So what you see is what you get. It allowing you to bold, italics. I'm reading the slide. Allowing for bold and italics next to the created and displayed features like write and edit, spell check, grammar check, formatting, cut, copy, paste, templates, custom tables and graphs, which means whatever you are doing in Word, it allows you to create your own style. You basically, you will pick a font type, a font size, but apart from that, you can create the styling of it. For example, if you pick Notepad, if you write a particular sentence in a Notepad, the entire Notepad has to follow the same font type and font size. You cannot change it. Let me show you a quick example here. So I'm opening Notepad, just a moment. For some reason my system doesn't allow me. All right, here we go. So this is my notepad. Here I am selecting a particular font type and font size. Alright. So my font type is going to be, say for example, something which is very commonly used, Arial. I am going to use a font size which is 28 and I want to make it bold. Alright. So if I type something, it cannot be changed. What do I mean by this? Say for example, these 4 words, it cannot be changed. If I change the font type, say for example, I am choosing this, which means everything changes. I cannot change just a part of it. Alright. Say for example, let me go back to this. So I am changing it back to Arial. Alright. On the other hand, I cannot even change the font size for part of the text. For example, only for this portion of the paragraph, I cannot change it. If I make it 72, everything becomes 72. So it doesn't really allow me to do what I want. But when I'm talking about a Word document, let me open a Word document and demonstrate this. Or rather, so I have written this is the first sentence and this is the second sentence, right? Only for this part I can change the styling, or I can change the style only for one particular word also. It does allow me. So I just marked it bold as well as italics as well as underlined. I can change just the font color of one particular word. I can change, let me zoom it a little more. I can just add a background only for one particular letter in the entire sentence. Which means Word gives me a lot of freedom, it gives me a lot of flexibility, whatever I want to change. Okay? That's the advantage of using a Word document, because it allows you to manipulate. Now that's a negative word in this context. When the reason I say manipulate means everything is under your control. You can change a part of a word, you can change a part of your sentence, you can do whatever you wish to do, you can change the entire design aspect, but the way you are doing it on the document, the receiver sees it the same way. That is the feature of MS Word. Alright. So let's continue the features that we're going to look at: write and edit, spell check, grammar check, formatting, cut, copy, paste, template and custom table and graphs. Now here are some of the tool features which you need to know. When you open a Word document, what you see on top is the entire toolbar. On each of the toolbar, you have sub items. Okay. Now on the left and on top, you have the ruler. The ruler is necessary, for example, if you are printing a document or printing a particular block of text, you can measure how the size would be when you print it. Okay? Now, certain cases the ruler will not be visible. There is a way to make it visible. So, I have this document here. Right now, the ruler is visible on top, as well as the vertical as well as horizontal dimension. You go to view, see this ruler, it is checked. If you uncheck it, the ruler will be gone. If you check it, the ruler will come back up. So, when you open a Word document, you will find all these aspects in terms of home. You will have ability to select the design of fonts. So, you have bold, italics, underline. You can change the font size from here, shortcut key, or you can change from here as well. You can select the font type. You can add bullet points or bullet styles. There are various styles of bullets. This I will cover in detail. You can select either numbering system, A, B, C, D or 1, 2, 3, 4. I will talk about this in detail, how a Word automatically picks the sub point number as well. You can select the alignment. You want left align, central align, you want right align or justified, and you can select different headers types from here, and you can also select the styles. All right. So, that is how when you open the file it looks like. On the bottom of the toolbar, this taskbar, you will see the word count, the page number as well as the view type, how you want the document to be viewed. For example, this is my particular document. I can select the view type. This is a print layout, the way it will be printed. This is full screen reading. For example, if you just want it as a full screen, if you want to read the document, go escape, it will go back. Then you have the web layout, the way you are typing, as if you are typing for the web content. So, these are the various ways you can view the document. I am sorry. Now, tools and structures, I am going to go slow so that you can take a closer look at it. When you open the document, you will have the home tab on the toolbar. I just explained to you the options that you see, the features that you see on the toolbar for home. Then you go to insert. In insert, you can insert a blank page, a cover page, a page break, table, picture. You can insert a picture, you can insert a clip art, you can insert shapes, you can insert smart art and charts. You can insert hyperlink as well. For example, if your entire file has say 6 pages, okay, and the first one is an index page. So, index page says page number 1 is header, page number 2 is subheader. So, you have assigned index on the title page. You can hyperlink so that when you on the title page itself, if you directly want to go to page number 5, you can click, it will take you there. You can also add a hyperlink for another file within the same folder. For example, you are referring to a different file, you can hyperlink that as well. If you want to hyperlink a web link, you can do that as well. So, you need to use the function of insert and hyperlink. All right. So, let us go back. You can insert hyperlink, you can insert bookmarks and cross reference, header, footer, page numbers. You can insert word art. You can also insert symbols, and you can also insert a file, an audio file or video file as well. So, that is insert option. Next is page layout, how your page should look like. Here you can select the theme, you can select the page color, font, you can select the margin, you can select the size of the document. You can select if you want a watermark, if you want a page border and a page background. You can select the indent and the spacing as well. What do we mean by spacing? Let me give you a quick example. I have this document Let me go to point number 2, and now I say this is the third sentence. Okay. So, I have this 3 lines. The spacing, I can decide how the spacing should look like. I select everything, I go to page layout. Right now it says after is 10 points, I can reduce it. So, I can have only 0 as minimum. It says before, I can increase it, after I can increase it. So, I can decide what kind of spacing I want, all right. So, that is about the page layout option. Okay. Now, how do we create a document? So, create document creation and templates. We can open MS Word in 2 different ways. We can type WinWord, W-I-N-W-O-R-D. We can type WinWord after you click on the Windows button, all right. Or you can directly go open Microsoft Office Suite and it will open up. So, you can click on File and New, it will open the new blank document, or you can also select templates. There are a list of templates that you can open, all right. Now, when would you open a template? For example, if you are creating certain documents like an invoice, you are creating a document like a resume or a cover letter. So, documents like resume and cover letter, you need to use templates because the set format will already be there in the system. You do not have to worry about the styling, the spacing, the alignment. So, let me show you quick examples of how to do that, all right. So, I can click on this start button, I can type WinWord, say enter, all right. It will directly open a blank document. I am zooming out, that is why you are able to see this clearly. So, it will open a blank document. Now, if you want to open a template, click here and say new, and it will give you the list of templates, all right. So, here I am trying to create a resume for you. So, the resume is already there in the system. As a part of the template, I can create my own template or I can download some templates. Let me click on this installed templates. So, these templates are already here in the system. Okay. So, there are some default templates which is there. The advantage of template is you do not have to work on the entire design. But the disadvantage of template is if 2 people are using the same template, both the documents will look exactly the same except the text. So, let me open original resume, I double click. So, see how this entire document is automatically created. Okay. If I zoom in, system please, I am showing the document. So, if I zoom in here, so this is zoomed in view. So, you have the alignment on the right side, you can also select this to be left side. You can change it. As a part of the resume, you are supposed to enter the objective and your education background. So, the options are already created, you just have to enter the text, all right. And types of skill, I can just directly type communication, web technologies, system administration. So, under this skill I have just directly listed, I do not even have to enter the bullet points, it is automatically picking it. That is the advantage of a template, all right. Now, I am going to pick certain content from a different source and I am going to show you how to edit a document, because now we are moving on to editing of a document. So, we have created a file, now formatting and texting. For formatting and texting, you will remain in the home tab and you will make use of all these features in order to format and to add style to your document. All right. After formatting and testing, formatting and styling, we will move to how to name a file. There are certain ways you should name a file. You can use the save as option, how you want to name the file. All right. So let me quickly pick certain documents, certain content, and I'm going to show you how to create the document. So instead of copying and pasting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type certain content which is going to be helpful for you. All right. So by default, it will always, let me zoom out. You see this gap, the cursor is always after a 1-inch gap. All right. That is by default. Word allows you to start from there. But if you want to make a change, you can bring your cursor and move this up, and the cursor will move. So whatever I am typing will get started from there. But I can also move it down wherever I want. When I'm moving it down, I can also check where exactly I am in terms of the ruler. All right. So let me expand this so that you can see whatever I'm typing. Now the reason it's coming to the next line because I have limited here. So let me expand this a little more. I want to zoom it. The reason I brought it closer so that you can see it clearly when I zoom. All right, I hope this is visible to all of you. I could have used a pre-typed paragraph, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you how to type effectively on a Word document, and I also want to show you certain features, automated features. This particular session is designed for the degree students across the streams of Now I'm going to use the word design and I'm going to make a spelling mistake and will show you how the system automatically corrects it. All right. So instead of DESIGNED, I have mentioned DESINGED. Let's see when I say, when I type on space bar, when I press space bar, if it picks up automatically. See, did you see that? Automatically the letters interchanged, because for certain common words, the system automatically makes the changes. Okay, so I've just typed this paragraph. Now I want to, if I say enter, it'll by default it'll create a one line gap. The objective of the training is to, now I'm going to add bullet points. Okay. Empower the student with skills. So I have mentioned 3 points. I want to make it a bullet point. So I can select these 3. I go to home and I click here. If I click here, by default the bullet point design will be the dot, but I can also select a design by clicking on the down arrow. So I have selected this. Okay. Now see something important. If I want to add a sub point for point number 1 or the first point, I will say enter and click on tab on your keyboard. The moment I say tab, the design of the bullet changes automatically. You don't have to do that manually. Automatically it changes. Okay. So this is sub point number 1. Sub point number 2. So I am typing this manually to tell you how it works. Now if I want a sub point for number 2 also, I can say enter and tab again. See, the design changes again. Sub point number 2.1. Even for this I can change, but since there are limitation of the design bank, that's why it goes back to this. The point that I am trying to make is it allows the system automatically picks the change in the bullet point design. Alright. Now if I want to change the bullet point to numbers, what do? I select the whole thing. Right now this is highlighted. You see this is highlighted. I click on the number system. So what happens? This will become 1, 2, 3. This will become AB. Now B becomes Roman 1. So automatically Word is selecting the change from bullet point to number system, and automatically it's picking the sub points as well. Alright. Now this is my paragraph. If I want to make the whole first sentence bold, I can click here bold, or I can type Control B, it's one and the same. If I want to make it italics, so let me zoom it. I click on this symbol, it becomes italics or it becomes underlined. If I want all 3, I can do that as well, no problem. I can give a separate color for the fonts, or I can select whatever color I want. I can also select a background. Okay. Now this whole paragraph, if I zoom out, you see it's left indent. I want to make it right indent, just for an example sake. So I click here, it becomes right indent. This is stencil aligned. This is left aligned. It should always be left aligned. Keep that in mind. I can select a particular font type. So I change the font type here. I can also select a font size for the whole paragraph or for the whole selection. Whatever I am selecting, it will pick the design whatever I am choosing. Clear? So I hope this is helpful. So this is how you edit. There are more features in terms of edit that you need to understand. So that will be covered in the next session. Word is extremely powerful. Remember, you can design your entire document in Word in such an effective way. These are the aspects you are going to learn in next 2 or 3 sessions. So I am hopeful that you are watching. Whatever questions you have, if you have worked on a document, you can post it on Google Drive and send me the link on the YouTube comment section. I'll take a look and provide you with the answer. All right. Thank you for your time. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.